It's the Daily Doug.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for being with me today. My friends, today is a Friday and we are finishing out the week right. I'm listening to some Led Zeppelin today, y'all. It cannot be a bad day when we're listening to Led Zeppelin. And I think we're going to have a good time together because we're listening to side one from Led Zeppelin's very first album, Led Zeppelin 1, side one. We're going back to the beginning, and I'm really excited about this one. So I have released over the life of the channel about a dozen videos featuring the music of Led Zeppelin. And over on our Patreon, I have reviewed two of their full albums. And when I decided to start my journey into the music of Led Zeppelin, I planned on starting at the beginning, but the community had a different idea. In the first Zeppelin poll that I put on Patreon, the community selected Houses of the Holy. So I started with that one. I very much enjoyed it, obviously. Later on, I reviewed all of Physical Graffiti, the spectacular double album from Led Zeppelin, right? So I enjoyed both of those, but it's been a while since I got back to one of their albums. And it's been a while since I heard from them on the channel. So I decided that I was going to go back to the very beginning. Today, y'all, we're going to be hearing side one of their debut self-titled album. It was released in January of 1969. So with this debut album, they recorded very soon after they formed. And they were working with a mixture of original material and with some existing blues songs and folk songs that they were reimagining and working on. And they were exploring this unique fusion of blues and rock and roll, and they would become one of the emerging voices, the emerging bands of this hard rock scene that was coming here as we started the 70s. And I have, touched on some of their songs over the years. I've actually heard one of the songs on this side that we are going to look at today, and I'm very unfamiliar with the rest of them. Actually, on this side, we've got Good Times, Bad Times, Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You, You Shook Me, and Dazed and Confused. So I know that I've heard Dazed and Confused. The reason why I know that is because I have I've done an episode on it. And as far as the other ones, Megan tells me that I've heard Good Times, Bad Times, especially in the movie The Adam Project. But I need to hear it to have my memory refreshed. The other two songs, Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You and You Shook Me, are songs I do not believe that I have heard previously. So I am eager to get to these tunes. It's a classic album from what I'm told, and it's Led Zeppelin. So let's get to it, y'all. Robert Plant is on lead vocals and the harmonica. Jimmy Page is on guitars and backing vocals and on production. John Paul Jones is on bass, Hammond organ, electric piano, and backing vocals, and John Bonham is on drums and backing vocals. So as we start out here, side one begins with Good Times, Bad Times. It is not only the lead track, but it's the lead single for the band. And about this particular song, Jimmy said that John Paul Jones came up with the riff. Jimmy had the chorus, and Bonham applied this bass drum pattern that they're all about. And Jimmy was, as I read, he was stunned with what Bonham was doing on the drums because he's playing with only one kick drum and it apparently sounds like it's two. So that's some things that I'm going to be listening for as we hear this song. Let's get it going, y'all. This is Good Times, Bad Times from Led Zeppelin. Off we go. Yeah, that sounds familiar. Right? And it's an E chord. Okay. Goes down to subtonic and then back up. E major down to D. Bum, bum, bum. So there's the E. That's what they're talking about. Did you hear his feet? I'm just waiting for him to do it again. So that's A to D. B to E. Gets him back. So now they're in F sharp.
She swore that she would be all mine and love me till the end. But when I whispered in her ear, I lost another friend. Oh, good times, bad times, you know I've had my share. When my woman left home for a brown man,
Does it again. So they're back in E. There's flat 7 to 4 to 1. Bum, bum, bum. Okay. So A to D goes back up. B is dominant to E. They stay in E. Listen to Bonham's feet. How did he do that with one drum? It's incredible. And it fades out. It fades out. The song is just started, friends. Really? Yeah, I want to hear a lot more of that. I got to hear an extended solo. There's a lot in there, friends. They're in E. And then they go down to subtonic, which is the D major chord. E major chord, D major chord, right? And they're using that E mixolydian scale with the lowered seventh, right? A major 1 chord, a major 4 chord, a major flat 7 chord, right? On subtonic, a full step below the tonic. And so you've got E to D to A, E, D, A, E, D, A. Great chords to use on the guitar. When they got to the chorus, they stayed on D, which is subtonic, and was using A to D, A to D, like dominant to tonic, right? And then it shifts, B to E, B to E. It's a pattern, right, that they used to get back to E, and then they did the pattern again, and it shifted them up to F sharp. And so the second time through, they're a whole step higher than where they started, and they get back down into E as subtonic to F sharp, right, for the guitar solo, and then they stay there for the rest of it. That's got a lot of harmonic interest amid all of the great riffing and playing that we're just bopping along to. Really, really cool way to start. Second one on the list to get to, second song up, is Babe, I'm Going to Leave You. And as I read in on this one, it's a folk song, y'all. I've heard of rock and roll bands riffing off of blues songs, but not a bunch of folk songs. It was written by folk singer Ann Breeden in the 1950s, and it was famously recorded by Joan Baez in 1962. Apparently, the guys in the band were fans of Joan's, and they were working on this piece. And I don't think that I've heard either one, Joan's original or the one here that we're going to hear from Led Zeppelin. So let's get to it. This is Babe, I'm Going to Leave You. Actually, it's not going, it's gonna leave you. And it's by Led Zeppelin. Here we go. While my guitar gently weeps, It's the progression. A minor, A over G. There's the F sharp in the bass.
I'm gonna leave you.
There's La, Lay,
I
Sol,
said,
Do, using both versions of that 6th scale degree.
You know I'm gonna leave you. Leave you when the
Lay,
summertime.
Sol,
Leave you when the summer
Sol,
comes around.
A minor, Day,
Leave you when the summer
Lay, Sol.
comes along.
Cool.
Baby, I wanna leave you. I ain't joking, woman, I've got to ramble. Oh, yeah.
I enjoy Robert's voice when he's down here
I really,
in his regular
got to
range.
ramble. I can hear it calling me the way
He's got a
it
really
used to.
singular color to his voice.
I can hear it calling me back home.
And then he does that. I love that it's staying relatively acoustic. Right? But they kept it acoustic for a while. It's an off-used bass line, y'all. Descending, going through both versions of the 6th scale degree. Gets to the 5 and extensified. Bass. Two acoustic guitars. Lead acoustics just in this ear.
I know, I know, I never gonna leave you, babe. And I gotta go away from this place. I gotta quit you, yeah. Oh, baby, 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 baby,
And then they back away from it.
woman.
Really love the dynamic contrast.
I know. Feels good to have you back again, and I know that one day, baby, it's gonna really grow. Yes, it is. We're gonna go walking through the park every day. I must say, every day.
I really groove on this, y'all. And you know what I'm thinking? I'm wondering, had y'all heard Robert Plant sing before you hear this side of the album? Was he a known musician joining a new band? Or was this, you're like, holy crap, who is singing? Because that's kind of what I'm like here. I've been critical of Robert Plant's voice, but I'm not right now.
But now I've got to go away.
Relatively straightforward tune, and it's what I would expect from a folk song. They've got this folk song element, but they're adding this hard rock element to it.
That's when it's calling me.
There's the major chord on F.
Calling me back
Ooh. Great ending. Bass is kind of going down by half step, and it went through the flat too on the way down there. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that quite a bit. That's a great tune. Babe, I'm gonna leave you. It's a song about exactly what you think it is. He's thinking about leaving his woman, right? It doesn't take a whole lot for me to interpret those lyrics. I'm going to move on to the third song, and it's a song called You Shook Me. And this one is their take on a blues song. It was written by a blues songwriter named Willie Dixon. And the main thing that I read here as I was getting ready is that towards the end of the song, they employed a backwards echo effect, especially as there is some sort of call and response section between the vocals and the guitar. I've heard them do a call and response before with, you know, Robert's voice and Jimmy's guitar and just kind of riffing off of each other. But I need to hear and pay attention so I can know what's coming for this backwards echo effect. I want to hear what that sounds like. So let's get to it, y'all. This is You Shook Me from Led Zeppelin. Here we go. Yeah. Way bluesy, and there's the harmonica in there as well.
You know you shook me. You shook me all night long. You know you shook me, baby. You shook me all night long.
Back to the one. E major, E mixolydian, or E blues, whatever you want to call it.
You shook me so, oh baby, baby, please come home.
Well, he left his lady, and now he's begging her to come home. Make up your mind, Robert.
That whistle, and I have heard that sing.
I love the inclusion of the electric piano that's in this ear.
I have a bird that whistles.
He's got a bird that whistles.
And I have birds that sing.
He's got birds that sing.
I have a bird who do not sing. Oh, but never ring.
Play it, John Paul. Yeah, if you're gonna riff on a blues song, you better be able to play the blues. They can play the blues, y'all. Harmonica solo. An organ solo, now a harmonica solo. And it sounds like they're just playing it live. Like it just sounds like you're in the room with them. And it's a straightforward blues song. They're not messing with the harmonic structure at all. They're just playing a blues song. Turn around. Solo, organ solo, harmonica solo, guitar solo. Makes me happy on Friday. Oh, that's a good choice. Nice. The breakup of the rhythmic pattern just kind of forces you to re-engage a little bit, right? If you were just kind of sitting back and grooving, it makes you sit up and go, okay.
You know you shook me, baby. You shook me, baby. You shook me all night long. I know you really, really did, babe. I said you shook me, baby.
If she shook you all night long, should you really be playing the blues? I would be ecstatic. Like, guys, I got a story for you.
Oh, baby. You set me all night
Wow. Wow is all I have to say about that. I've never, have I heard reverse what do they call it? A backwards echo is what they called it. Because it did sound like the sound was coming before it sounded, and then you hear it, and then you hear it, and then you hear it. That was interesting. That was interesting. I enjoy the blues, y'all. I've enjoyed several different blues artists over the years, and they always put their own spin on things. And these are conversational songs, and they're vehicles for just expressing emotion with your lyrics and with your instrument. You gotta play. You gotta play. And it can be virtuosic, or it can just be just very sparse and just in the feels, and it's still the blues, and it works. It really does. That was a really cool way, though, to put your own stamp on a cover, to do something like that in the studio with that backwards reverb there, or that backwards echo at the end. That was fun. All right, y'all, on to Dazed and Confused, the last song on this side. And like I said, I have heard and reacted to this song previously. It was in September of 2023 in episode 663. And this is a reworking of a song that Jimmy had performed with the Yardbirds, his previous band. And when he was in the Yardbirds working on this song, it was a remake of an original song by Jake Holmes that had come out a few years previously. I think 1967 is when that original came out. And when I reviewed the song a few years ago, I listened to Jake Holmes' original. I took the opportunity to, because I had never heard it. And I don't remember, honestly, I don't remember a ton of it. But I also then listened to the studio version by Led Zeppelin. I'm going to re-listen to the studio version by Led Zeppelin today. I need to get refamiliarized with the song. It's been too long since I heard it. And perhaps then after this refamiliarization, I can dive into some of the classic live performances of this track that y'all have told me about. I read that some of these extended live versions of Dazed and Confused can last 20 minutes, 30 minutes, even into 40 minutes sometimes. And just as an open, extended improvisation and groove. And so I am eager to be refamiliarized with this song. So let's get it going, y'all. Dazed and Confused from Led Zeppelin. Here we go.
For so long it's not true. Wanted a woman, never bargained for you.
The chromatic motion in the bass is making it difficult for me to figure out exactly what key they're in. All of those are half. A lot of those are half steps. Which sets up E. I think it's G, F sharp to F to E. I think it goes down a whole step to D. Really fixated on that right now. Because it lands on B. And that sets up dominant, right? So E is our key. Little motive there. That they can pass back and forth. While Robert's over in the corner. I don't know what Robert's doing. studio tricks. Is that when he's bowing the guitar? Because this is that song, right? Famously, where Jimmy Page is soloing by using a bow. And keep the tempo a little bit. You can just sing on one chord through this solo. I was about to say, I think that Bonham's rushing just a bit, but boy, he's right on the edge if he's not. It's keeping that just right on the edge, pushing forward. There's the 5, which keeps us in our key. Right, so I think G, F sharp, F to E, down a whole step to D, to C sharp, to C, to B. And the places that we land on are the E and the B, tonic and dominant. The half steps lead to those. Tongue wags so much and I send you the bill. This motive here a little bit more present in the mix towards the end. Somebody quit hurting Roger. He keeps saying, oh. Just kidding. And that's how that ends. I had really forgotten most of Dazed and Confused. I will be honest. I remembered the bowing, but I didn't remember what it really sounded like. I didn't remember the key. I didn't remember all of those half steps, which is why it was really good for me to refamiliarize myself with it and hear it again before I go and hear the extended versions of it that they did live. And I would like to get to some of those. Not today, but I'm curious to see what they ended up doing in concert with a song that's relatively straightforward like that. You know, it doesn't have a whole lot of structure to it. It can just be repeated and you can go off and improvise and add to and layer and do all of those things. And boy, they can play, they can sing, and what a statement to come on the scene here in January of 1969 with your first record. And you know, they become one of the great rock and roll bands of all time. And it's easy to see why. This is a strong beginning friends. I really enjoyed hearing all of these songs. You know, I was initially on the channel not too eager to dive into Led Zeppelin because the little bit of Led Zeppelin that I had heard, I remember being annoyed by Robert Plant's vocals. And I thought, not for me. So I just left it for decades, right? And it's only in the context of the Daily Doug and, you know, the outlook of, okay, I want to learn some stuff that I don't know. I want to be open. I want to be inviting. I want to have an open mind. I want to be curious. And I want to learn these songs that all of y'all are passionate about. And I want to learn some of the history behind the sounds of these classic bands and this music that fits into the music history movement, right? We just kind of build on things and build on things and build on things. And so for a long time, I didn't do reactions to Led Zeppelin music. And as I have become more accustomed to their style, to their sensibilities, and to them as performers, I don't have those negative thoughts or those annoyed thoughts of Robert's vocals anymore. I really don't. It was just something that, and I don't even remember what song or songs I ended up being annoyed by. It was just something that I remember sticking in my brain, and you get an idea about something, and there's so many other bands and music that's out there that I'm like, all right, Zeppelin's for those folks. I'll just go over here. I really have been surprised with how much I like Led Zeppelin, especially here, this one earlier on. Robert's voice is lower in his range for a lot of it. He's using so much of his range, but he's using it strategically. And I thought that he really brought it this time. And of course, the entire band is remarkable, right? Good Times, Bad Times. The first song we heard, Bonham doing that kick drum pattern with one kick drum. Amazing technique. I don't know how he did that. John Paul Jones doing some great bass work and some really great keyboard work for them. And of course, the great Jimmy Page playing all of those guitars and just oozing with musicality, right? A really fun listen. So next Friday, I am going to get back to side 2, y'all. So if you are curious about, all right, Doug, that's side 1. When are you going to turn the record over? Next Friday. I will be listening next Friday to Your Time Is Gonna Come, Black Mountain Side, Communication Breakdown, I Can't Quit You Baby, and How Many More Times. And I don't think I've heard any of those, y'all. Side 2 may be all brand new listens, all first time listens for me. So tune in next Friday if you really want to see my brain get scrambled. But it's been fun hanging out with y'all this Friday and listening to side 1 of this great album. I'm glad that I'm getting back to these guys and going back to the beginning. When I go chronologically, it's a little bit easier for me to track a band's evolution musically, as people, as what they're talking about, and the subject matter of their songs. It's really illuminating to go through a discography in chronological order. And I don't know if I'll continue after side 2 of this first album, going directly to Led Zeppelin 2 and continue on, or if we'll go other places. I really don't know yet. All that I know is that I'm going to come back next Friday and listen to the rest of the album, and I invite you all to join me next Friday. But for today, my friends, I believe that is going to be all for me. I wish you a great weekend, and I thank you for hanging out with me as we have been listening to Led Zeppelin, their very first album, Led Zeppelin 1, their debut self-titled album, Side 1. What a great collection of songs, y'all. I really, really enjoyed it, and I thank you again for hanging out with me on this episode. So that's all for me today, y'all. I thank you for being with me, and we will see you next time on another edition of The Daily Doug.
It's the Daily Doug. Welcome to the Daily Doug. The Daily